Welcome back to Hedgie English. Let's continue to watch Woody Woodpecker in Pantry Panic. When we last saw him, there was an intertitle. Remember the story? Every bird, so groundhog, the groundhog professor, or Professor Groundhog, predicts winter is coming. And every bird in the village runs away. Woody Woodpecker, he does not. He stays there. He says, I'm fine, I'm going to dive, I'm going to eat. And things go very badly for him. Winter strikes, it takes away all his food. It plays him as like a game of badminton, as if he is a birdie in a game of badminton. The clouds knock him back and forth, and then eventually he is on the brink, the edge of starvation. He is about to starve. No food. And so we last saw here that there comes to a snowbound village a poor, hungry little kitty cat. And let's see what happens.
I'm that hungry little kitty cat you just read about.
So we see the village, we see the mailbox on the left, Woody Woodpecker's mailbox with the flag up. Snowbound, remember, means covered in snow. And a cat, or the hungry little kitty cat that we just read about, pops out from behind a tree. He's holding the tree with one hand, with his left hand, and he speaks to us, speaks to the viewer, and says, I'm the hungry little kitty cat that you just read about. With a great voice, a fine voice, I must say. And he gives a little meow. He goes, meow, meow, you know.
I'm so hungry I could eat a woodpecker.
So he meows again, and he says, I'm so hungry I could eat a woodpecker. And this is a reference to a phrase in English, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Kind of like a set phrase, an cultural idiom. Well, I guess a metaphor, because an idiom means you can't guess the meaning, really. This one you can. So a metaphor. And yeah, so let's continue.
Yeah, that's it.
He says, yeah, that's it, as if he just... Because he said, I'm so hungry I could eat a... And he looked for something, and he found the name Woodpecker. And it's as if he decided to eat the woodpecker when he saw the name. Yeah, that's it.
Pardon me, buddy. That's probably the grocery man.
So we cut back to... Remember, cut is to switch images quickly. We cut back to Woody's house. Woody Woodpecker's house. Inside, remember, he is with, I think, Death, or at least a ghost, who is smoking a ghostly cigar. And let's see, let me remember what he says as we cut back. Hold on. Oh. No, wait. I think I went back a little too far. There we go.
Pardon me, buddy. That's probably the grocery man.
He says, pardon me, which is like excuse me. It's something when you're going somewhere. It's polite to say, pardon me, buddy, friend, something like that. That's probably the knock at the door. That's probably the grocery man, because someone is knocking at the door. That's probably the grocery man. A joke. So they both see each other. Woody opens the door. They both see each other and react in shock. Remember, in old cartoons, everyone is reacting physically when they see something surprising. And they both see each other and then start to drool. That's when liquid comes out of your mouth because you're hungry, or for other reasons. They start to drool, and they look at each other and they imagine each other as food. Here are little thought bubbles. We call them thought bubbles. And inside the thought bubble, we see each one of them prepared as food, like a roast would be. It's kind of a cultural symbol. Put an apple in the animal's mouth and then line the plate with like potatoes or garlic or something. So they're imagining eating each other, which is kind of an interesting thing philosophically, because it's not, since they're both living and talking creatures in this cartoon, it feels a little bit like cannibalism, because they're both acting like humans. Cannibalism is where you eat other humans, but they're technically different species, so it's not using that logic. But since we have personified them, we have made them act like humans, it kind of feels more like cannibalism than not to me. It's kind of something horrific from old cartoons if you think about it. But anyway, let's continue.
Come in. You're just in time for dinner.
Yeah? What are you gonna have for dinner?
So, Woody Woodpecker invites him in. He gestures inside and he says, "Come on in. You are just in time for dinner. You arrived at the right time for dinner. You are just on time for dinner." And the cat with a great voice says, "Yeah. What are you going to have for dinner?" And he marches in the door.
What am I have for dinner?
I'm gonna have cat.
Says, "I'm going to have cat."
Fish.
Fish.
Yeah.
Again, joke, catfish is a type of fish, but he thinks cat. He means cat. And also we see Woody's house. It's a little bit broken down. We have a picture on the wall, hanging on the wall on the left, and it's not straight. It's kind of askew, maybe, or crooked, we might say. So we have a crooked picture hanging on the wall. Some of the building materials are exposed, like the wall is breaking. Here we have cracks in the wall, and this part of the wall is coming off. We have a rug on the ground and a ceiling beam up here.
Yeah?
Let me take your scarf.
Woody says, "Let me take your scarf," which is when you offer to take something from a guest. It means let me take it and put it somewhere. Let me put it away. Let me take your scarf. And then he grabs both ends of the scarf and pulls, choking the cat. The cat manages to pull his head out, to worm out of the scarf, and the scarf ends up being pulled into a knot. This is a knot. And Woody reacts in surprise.
You know, I think that pigeon tried to choke me.
Cat says to us, "You know, I think that pigeon tried to choke me." First, he's kind of insulting him because he calls him a pigeon, which normally we think of pigeons in culture as a dirty bird, like not a very beautiful or noble bird. And he's rubbing his neck. He's rubbing his neck because it hurts. And he says, "I think that pigeon tried to choke me." Maybe he's surprised. Maybe he's pretending to be surprised.
You must be pretty cold, buddy.
No, I ain't cold.
Woody says, "You must be pretty cold, buddy." Here, must is not like a command, like you must. It's kind of like a hypothesis, saying something you think is true. So, you must be pretty cold, buddy. And he goes, "Nah, I ain't cold." Ain't is kind of slang for am not. I ain't, I am not. I ain't cold.
Oh, yes, you are. Step
Woody disagrees and says, "Oh, yes, you are," and pushes the cat.
over by the fire and get warm for dinner.
Let's watch one more time.
Cold? No, I ain't cold.
Oh, yes, you are. Step over by the fire and get warm for dinner.
So Woody pushes him and says, "Step over by the fire and get warm for dinner." And so a lot of the things they're saying, they have a double meaning. What is a double meaning? Well, it has two different meanings. On one level, there's the normal meaning to actually sit next to the fire to get warm so you feel better when it's cold. And then the double meaning is behind that, we know that Woodpecker means something about cooking the cat. So we can eat, so he can eat the cat, not us. So he can eat the cat. So there's a double meaning in most of these things. Sometimes it's a double meaning of understanding. Like there's the normal understanding, the understanding the cat has, and then the understanding we have based on the situation. And sometimes there's a double meaning because it's something that makes sense in the story, but also a reference to a cultural idea. Like, I'm so hungry I could eat a woodpecker. It kind of is a reference to something. So anyway, he pushes the wolf into the oven and closes the door. Closes the oven door. Very strongly, he slams the door shut. So let's stop there for now. And when we see each other again, we'll continue to watch these two creatures try to kill and eat each other. So, thanks for watching, and continue to watch if you want. If you want to learn English, if you want to help me out, if you enjoy. Thank you.